Hello, everyone. This is Mercedes Wilson from the Daily Buzz 716 show, and I have the pleasure of sitting here with Carl Gould, the man that had 3 multi-million-dollar businesses before he was 40 years old, internationally known strategist. You are an author, you are a speaker, you are so much more. You are the man that I want to talk to.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome to the Daily Buzz 716.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah. So we have the awesome time to talk about women in business.
Yeah.
First, I want to start by saying, what have you experienced in what you do? Is there a difference between women in business and men in business, in your opinion?
Well, there's no question about it. Now, it depends on when we talk about women in business. As a woman entrepreneur, there's, as far as the marketplace is concerned, there's no difference. The buying public wants their problem solved. They want to work with someone that'll create a great experience. So if it's a male or a female, nobody cares. If you can solve my problems, you'll be my vendor, and I'm gonna be a very loyal customer for you. Similar in when you say women in business, as far as being an executive or an employee of a company. Again, if they are able to solve the problems and bring value to their employer, the employer is going to have them as part of their business. Where it starts to get different is family dynamics, career paths, longevity, sustainability. All of a sudden now that throws some variables into the mix.
Okay, so let's talk about the family dynamics part of it. So many women are in different stages. Some women, are the breadwinners of the home, so they have to have that full-time job, but in the back of their minds have the desire to have their own business. You have some women, like myself, I started a nonprofit out of my battle with breast cancer, and I kind of took the leap and left that 9 to 5. Then you have, some women that may just say, you know what, I want to do something different. So let's talk about the women in different stages. What do you say to the woman that has the 9 to 5, but says, I want to have a business on the side that maybe I can start part-time and then it can grow into something?
Sure. Well, so the woman who wants to get back to, we talk about work-life balance.
Yes,
really
yes.
Very possible, but it's more like work-life integration at this point, where you want to integrate your work into your family life, or you want to get your family back into your work life, or at least into your life.
Is that possible?
It's balance. Not only is it not possible, but you would be bored if you ever had it, right? But integration, it is possible. Then now, here's where female entrepreneurs and female executives can take a page out of the male playbook. They're very good at letting go.
Okay.
The skill every entrepreneur, every executive has to learn is good delegation and how to use leverage for other people. Women are naturally wired for that. They're great multitaskers.
Yeah.
They're already the CEO of the household, but they do struggle with letting go.
Yeah.
I have to be the one who does it all. No. I take every part of my job personally. Is that familiar?
Yeah, very.
And so they need to learn and develop that skill, just like every entrepreneur. It's not just a woman thing or a man thing, but it is something especially that women are sensitive to.
Yeah.
And so that's a skill that they really should need to focus on. But they certainly can create that balance. They don't have to be 9 to 5, and the employer doesn't care that they're 9 to 5. They care that they're getting their problem solved.
Okay.
So the marketplace 10 years ago, we probably couldn't have this conversation because technology didn't create the tools where we could be freelancers and rent an executive or part-time employee or work at home part of the time, work at the office part of the time. People who want to have that, work-life integration.
Okay. What's the first step to that?
Well, the first step to that is to identify what value do you bring to your employer or to your clients.
Okay.
And so here's how it goes. If you make $100,000 a year, you have to make the case to your employer that you bring $500,000 worth of value to the company. 5x.
Okay.
That's the minimum standard. And so if you're in business, you want to go to your client and say, or at least ask yourself, how do I deliver 5 times the value of what I'm charging? Once you get to that threshold or above it, you can start to dictate terms.
Okay.
If you are under that, then you know what? I'm sorry. You're going to punch the clock, and someone's going to tell you how to spend your day. But once you're providing that much value, you're now in the realm of what an employer wants very desperately, and what a client or a buyer wants from you very desperately. So number one, identify your value.
Okay.
Once you've done that, now you've got a value proposition that you can go pitch to your employer. I would like to work remotely, outside of the hours of 10 to 2. I could be in the office between 10 to 2, but I'd like to work remotely for the other 20 hours of the week or 10 hours of the week. And here's why I think I can do it. Here's how my life is working out. Here's where I can make the time, and I can deliver just as much value.
Now that sounds like a very bold move.
It does, but think about who you're making the move to. The entrepreneur who is all about being bold, or your manager who has worked their way up the ladder by being bold. So I'm not saying being a rule breaker. Rules weren't just made to be broken. Rules were made to be improved upon.
Okay.
Right? And so take the rules and the structure that you have and say, I want to make it better. Here's how I'm going to do it, and here's how I'm going to deliver. I'm going to continue to deliver the value that I'm delivering.
Okay. Now, what about the woman that was very similar to myself, where I had a great job, I was doing well, but I was a single mother, went through breast cancer, and it changed my whole perception of life. So you come back to work and you say, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is not what I want to do anymore.
It's no longer your calling.
Correct.
Yeah.
How do you make that transition for women out there that say, oh my gosh, I went and saw this, and now that is what I want to do?
Right.
How do you make that transition?
So that's a tough one. I mean, that's a challenging one. It's probably the most challenging one. I remember when I decided I wanted to become a business advisor in the 90s. The job didn't exist. When I told my colleagues and my friends and family, yes, I'm going to sell this business, this profitable business, and I'm going to go into this thing called business coaching. And they were saying, well, what's that? It didn't even exist. They were like, you're crazy, you're nuts. And so there is what we call a time of intentional imbalance. In other words, while you're doing your job, you still have to do your job impeccably while building the skill set you need to go out on your own.
That's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And so you are absolutely, you go to your family and you say, have a look at me now. You're not going to see me for a while.
That's what happened. Yeah.
For the next period of time, and it needs intentional imbalance has to have a clearly defined start and finish. So you say, during this period of time, I'm going to acquire the skills I need to, I'm going to do the market research I need to, I'm going to prove my concept, which means I have a product, I have customers, I'm going to prove I can sell that to them over and over again. And once I know I can do that, then I'm willing to take the leap and leave my old job and start my new business.
That's tough. Now let's talk about the product. When you take that launch and you do it, is it okay to work with friends and family?
It is okay to work with friends and family. Just remember that 2/3 of that group that you're with now will not be there as the business develops, and that's okay. I mean, if you look at the life cycle of a business, you have your launch phase, and you have where you become an expert or an authority in your niche, and then you build a team, and then you have systems. There's a point where you go from an entrepreneurial managed business, which is everybody wears all the hats and it's all hands on deck, you know what that's like. Then you go to a professionally managed business. And the difference there is all the roles are clearly defined. I come to work, I am given a certain amount of work, I have my task. It's like an assembly line, and then I pass it off to the next person.
Yeah.
So entrepreneurial employees are not always professionally managed employees, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You take a large corporate employee and put them in a small, agile, growing entrepreneurial business, and they fall apart. They can't handle it. It's too stressful.
Yeah.
Conversely, you hear the small business employees say, oh, wait a minute, are we going corporate here? What's happening? This is not fun anymore.
Yeah.
It's totally cool. Love them for the time that they provided value to your business. And then when the time comes, let them go their way and find the next entrepreneurial business to work and start up to work in as you evolve and your business builds the systems and structures it needs to go to the next level.
Okay. That's great. It's not easy, but that's...
I am one of 10 kids, and all except for one at some point or another worked in one of my businesses.
Jeez.
And just as I've worked in my brothers and sisters' businesses. So, but they all don't work, we all don't work together now.
Yeah.
Right? So there was a time when it was perfectly appropriate for one of my brothers or sisters to work in my company.
Yeah.
But now it's not.
Yeah.
And that's totally cool.
Yeah. I love you, family. That's all I do love you.